Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day to start things off. CoinFloor, the UK's longest running cryptocurrency exchange, plans to delist Ethereum next month, citing an unclear future of hard forks and the need for onerous technical support for the second biggest coin by market capitalization. The company will also delist Bcash, the splinter currency founded 2 years ago in the aftermath of Bitcoin's heated scaling debate. Starting the 3rd of January, CoinFloor will support only Bitcoin, whose 11th anniversary happens to fall on that day. The plan comes ahead of the launch of Ethereum 2.0, tentatively planned for early 2020, which will begin the process of shifting the network away from the energy-consuming proof-of-work consensus mechanism to proof-of-stake. CoinFloor's decision suggests nurturing a team with the specific expertise to follow the technical trials and tribulations of coins like Ethereum may be too expensive for smaller crypto players, particularly if this constitutes only a small part of their trading volume. From the point at which it starts next year, Ethereum's platform upgrade could take years to complete. This was said by the founder and CEO of CoinFloor. The complexity of the operation means for a period of time, there could be 2 versions of Ethereum running. According to some Ethereum developers, it's likely to be years before the old Ethereum proof-of-work chain is fully merged into the new proof-of-work system, leading to current discussions around ways to create a secure bridge between the 2 chains. This made a lot of news. We've seen delistings before. If you haven't been here or this is relatively new to you, normally when an asset is listed on an exchange, it is typically not delisted ever. This was the news on just about almost every single major cryptocurrency news outlet, is that a major cryptocurrency exchange, or the longest running one in the United Kingdom, had planned on delisting not only Bcash, which was, I assume, added because of the entire situation in 2017 where a lot of cryptocurrency exchanges were threatened with lawsuits if they did not give over the forked coins. And we had the whole discussion back then of like, there was someone who tried to take Coinbase to court and was like, if I have a cow and that cow makes milk, that milk is mine, etc., etc. The second part being is the actual delisting of Ethereum. We've seen delistings of other smaller cap coins before, but never the actual second largest coin. Once again, they say that they want to solely focus on Bitcoin. I wonder exactly how this is going to transform their business, or if this is just a precursor. If this is just a precursor of things that are potentially to come, as far as a lot of cryptocurrency analysts, and I mean even more so if you want to move into the realm of Bitcoin maximalists, have stated that things like this would eventually take place. We've also seen a lot of, the word isn't hate, it's more like disdain. That's kind of the same thing for Ethereum from a lot of people who are definitely Bitcoin maximalists, saying that the upgrade will not work, especially with the idea of having 2 separate chains that need to be maintained. They have to find some way to be linked between themselves. No one knows what's going to happen, but this, like I said, definitely made major news. I don't assume anytime soon that any other exchange will be delisting Ethereum. It's at this point, it's kind of imagine a cryptocurrency exchange who has like 5 coins and they're like, yeah, we're going to delist Bitcoin tomorrow. It's a bit of a weird move. We'll see how it works out for them. Usually when we get news like this, it takes about a good 5 to 6 months. And then we have news that that place has flourished and they're doing relatively well, or they plan on doing more listings, or that they're shutting their doors amid a wave of layoffs. Yeah, like I said, this was everywhere. Everyone was talking, like you just, it's unheard of to delist Ethereum, as it is the number 2 coin. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, Fidelity Investments, one of the world's largest asset managers, is setting up a new entity to serve European institutional investors in digital assets. The firm said on Tuesday the new business will be provided through Fidelity Digital Asset Services, FDAS. Its New York State Chartered Limited Liability Company, launched in 2018. FDAS already offers custody and trade execution services to US-based institutional investors. It will now also provide European digital asset investors such as hedge funds, family offices, market intermediaries, and rich people with these services, Fidelity said in a press release shared with CoinDesk. The firm has appointed Chris Trier, not important who's going to head it, yada, yada, yada. The firm recently made significant progress in the U.S. FDAS bagged a New York trust charter to custody Bitcoin for institutions in November and said at the time it would onboard its first client by the end of 2019. The president said significant interest and engagement from institutional investors since its U.S. launch a year ago. And then they mentioned somewhere around here that they've seen significant interest from European clients, and this is why they're also launching there as well. It was believed for a while that kind of is what it is, that Fidelity would eventually open their doors to everyone. They, like many other companies who have simply opened their doors for institutional, very rich clients, they seem to only be focusing on that as well. There is a huge market for this as well within Europe. We typically see, or rather we have seen thus far, Binance's expansion as well as Coinbase's and a number of other agencies, companies within Switzerland who have kind of said, yeah, we are definitely here only for institutional investors. And the fact that Fidelity has also moved over here as well, while also not fully opening their doors to normal people around the world, is a huge indication. And this is also, I mean, really, if nothing else, this news is just more of an indication that a lot of people don't understand that purchases behind the scenes are still taking place, that a lot of these things will never really make headlines. A lot of these, Fidelity's not expanding into Europe because there was one family who bought $15,000 worth of Bitcoin. There's millions of dollars sloshing back and forth between all of these entities. And in order for Fidelity to even think of opening up an office or an institutional anything within Europe, has me believing there's probably at least $50 to $100 million to be made across multiple hedge funds, families, what have you, et cetera, et cetera. We'll see exactly how this ends up going. I assume is going to do relatively well if they're already talking about expanding into another continent. But alas, I guess that's really it. There's not really much more to talk about on the Fidelity expansion. And without further ado, let us move on. Next up, San Francisco-based cryptocurrency exchange Kraken has announced it has acquired Circle's over-the-counter desk. In a 17th of December blog post, Kraken said the company has bought one of the most recognized over-the-counter desks in crypto. Circle co-founders Sean Neville and Jeremy Allaire confirmed the sale of the Circle Trade OTC business to Kraken by saying, and I do quote, "We have known and admired," weird, "Jesse and his team at Kraken for many years, and we have every confidence and expectation that Circle Trade customers and partners will continue to find best-in-class OTC liquidity service and responsiveness through Kraken's going forward. Circle Trade represents an enormous success for the industry as well as for Circle, and we're excited to see Kraken grow it further," end quote. According to Neville and Allaire, the sale of Circle's OTC desk is part of its sharpened 2020. This was another news thing that I decided not to include because it's right here. Apparently, Circle is planning on focusing on stablecoins. They said their sharpened 2020 product roadmap, in which the company states it needs to focus effectively on its stablecoin platforms by reducing complexity, tightening its product portfolio, and reorganize its teams to execute with greater agility. Today's announcements follows the news that Circle laid off another 10 employees in early December, et cetera, et cetera. This has actually been happening a lot. There were layoffs from Consensus. There were layoffs from the CoinList. There were layoffs from, was it Digibyte? There are a lot of coins that have a lot of layoffs going on. Companies being shortened, tightened, making sure that everything works out a lot more effectively. I assume, major assumption, this is possibly was also going on with the first news story that we have. Everyone's trying to figure out how to tighten up the ranks, how to make sure that everything is a lot better. This also, I think everyone's trying to find their own light, their own space, their own road as they move forward within the cryptocurrency space. Circle just happens to be trying to figure out how to be a stablecoin master. I do honestly wish them the best of luck in that. I think stablecoins will be around, but I think that what we've seen so far as stablecoins and central bank digital currencies, it seems that governments will be running that game, and I don't foresee stablecoins to be as bountiful or plentiful over the next couple of years as other things kind of push them out of the way. Here's the actual blog post right here. Kraken OTC acquires Circle Trade. Wonderful for Kraken. No news as to the exact amount of money that was passed, but I assume it was significant, especially if you're trying to purchase an over-the-counter desk, as over-the-counter desks usually, typically, what we've heard before, get a lot of money flowing through them as people are trying not to move the cryptocurrency prices, and they're trying to buy at a depressed and or a stable price over the counter so that it does not move or affect cryptocurrency trading websites. Talking about stablecoins, Malta-based cryptocurrency exchange OKEX has added support for a new feature that allows users of the stablecoin known as DAI, D-A-I, to earn support by staking their holdings. In a blog post on the 17th of December, OKEX confirmed users can now stake their DAI via its in-house mining pool, known as Pool. Okay, in return, they will earn 4% interest via the so-called DAI saving rate DSR, along with an added incentive from OKEX itself. The move makes the exchange the first major trading platform to integrate DSR, and the feature will go live on the 23rd of December. On the 23rd of December, users of the OKEX platform will be able to directly deposit DAI and stake it in the DSR to earn the savings rate plus an additional reward that is exclusive to OKEX, all without leaving the OKEX platform, the blog stated. Maker, the entity behind DAI, launched the DSR scheme last month. Since then, holders have locked up around $16 million worth of DAI, corresponding to dividends of around $640,000 US. I don't know how to even begin to unpack this. I understand the desire of a company to want to have alternative ways for their customers to be able to invest. However, I'm going to go out on a very long limb. I'm going to go out on a very weird tree branch to say it's probably not the way to do so by allowing people or having people stake digital fiat currency. It's a little weird. The 4% interest is wonderful compared to what you would normally get at a bank, but I question the longevity of such activities as far as if we enter a situation where the cryptocurrency market, if the cryptocurrency market does a 3x, a 4x, a 5x, dare I say a 10x in price over the next year and a half, what have you, holding your money in DAI will have been a horrible investment. Why hold? You get what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. If you have $1 million and you get 4% off of that million, whoop-de-doo. If you have $1 million, that becomes $5 million, and you're still making 4% on that. One of them shines a bit brighter than the other. I wonder where this is all going. I feel like we're in a situation where at the end of 2017, the middle of 2018, where a lot of companies are trying to figure out ways to make money and or gain interest in their platforms, or trying to have something to incentivize users to their platform. 4% is great. 4% is that's about 800 times more than you would be receiving from many bank accounts around the world. However, the actual usefulness of connecting this to a stablecoin is kind of weird. This is why I said before, I like the idea of being able to get, 6 to 7, 8% on Bitcoin, Ether, XRP, heck, even Tezos. But sure. I think everyone, like I said, is trying their hand at what works in the space. This is what they have chosen. So good luck to them. I tip my non-existent hat. I don't think this is going to last. I can't make it or say it in a nice way. The moment the market starts shooting back up, people will only be trading in stablecoins. No one's going to be interested in holding a large amount of money in stablecoins. Like, it's nonsensical. This is what causes a rush into the cryptocurrency market. Because people go, oh wait, Bitcoin went from 900 to 10,000 while my money just sat in my bank account. I should have put my money into Bitcoin when it was 900 and I would also have 10,000 yada yada money. Anyway, you get what I'm saying. We'll see. Maybe it works out for them. Yeah. Let's move on. And to kind of finish things off, cryptocurrency businesses and services based in the European Union have less than a month to adjust their business operations to comply with a new set of rules. As of the 10th of January, the 5th Anti-Money Laundering Directive, or 5AMLD, will be in effect, requiring Know Your Customer and monitoring of all transactions. Regulators across the world have struggled with putting cryptocurrencies within a certain legislative framework. The European Union is on its way to put in effect an updated legislation called the 5th Anti-Money Laundering Directive. Among the most notable changes are those that would require cryptocurrency service providers to conduct Know Your Customer checks on their own. Furthermore, all transactions will be monitored and companies will have to file suspicious activity reports, or SARS. Why did they name it that? Or with law enforcement. Regulators approved the updated legislation in 2018, and all members had 18 months to adjust their businesses accordingly. Time runs out on the 10th of January, and if the services fail to comply with any of these requirements, they will have to pay fines and penalties or even risk being shut down. 5AMLD will affect some of the most popular cryptocurrencies based in the European Union. They are Binance, Bitstamp, Bbox, never heard of that, CoinDeal, never heard of it, and OKEX, heard of that one. Unless any of these companies would like to leave the European Union, they would have to comply in full. Sure. If you have listened to any of Laura Shin's podcasts or any of the many other podcasts, they actually have ads for this. It's actually kind of weird. The point being, this is it, if you will. It says even right here, it says it's worth noting that the U.S. introduced similar measures in 2013 and the European Union appears to now be catching up. Not really. The U.S. has been very lackluster in their amount of not regulation or control, but as far as like giving proper framework for anything, it's been like a, yeah, you see what they're doing, do that as well. You like you see what we're doing, you see what we've been doing since the 1920s, just follow that. A lot of other countries this year, this has been a very, we're going to regulate your year. A lot of other countries have given their framework, given their regulations, and within Europe, it appears that we only have 23 days until this officially goes into effect. I wonder how this is going to affect a number of companies. I don't really think that much. I think people, realistically, if you want the truth, I think people are used to KYC and AML just using their normal bank accounts. I think people are used to these parameters, used to being inside of this sandbox, used to being inside of this little enclave where they can't really do too much. And I think people won't really, especially people who are just getting into crypto, don't understand the original idea and intent of crypto, or who will get into crypto in the future. It'll be no different to them than actually having or already using their own bank account. They'll think it's totally normal to send in an ID, to send in a passport, to send in a so-and-so, just to be able to use cryptocurrency. But yeah, the major focus of the beginning of 2018 was that we would have cryptocurrency regulations, and they are now upon us. Except for, I think, 3 major countries, you know exactly who they are. Not China being one of them. The other ones who are actually not going to ban it. Just waiting on their regulations, and that should be the entire kit and caboodle as far as everyone who has or was going to give cryptocurrency regulations. As always, hold on. There we go. It has to it's such a weird website. It has to refresh itself in order to be able to kind of show the updated anything. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters: Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Mr. Pickles, John Sarson, the Animal Reader, A Bibliophobia, Barebones Mining, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Moham Maroney, Master Ventures in Thailand, Brady Niels, Woody and Daisy, Triple M and J, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Crypto Joe, Bankroll Network, Adobo, Milweezy, Mechanic, Strange, Radio Central, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Cryptopolis, Nicholas, Renorth, One Piece, One Love, Damien, Setsuna, Nick Kanaya, Richie Rich III, Vlad the Impaler, Crypto Beer, Shipmate, Paxis, Nick Mangia, Lavori, Anthony Charles, Jim Garner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller Hitch Test every day, and Kyle skips leg day, yes to Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, Semi Ucha, Ting Tang, Walla Walla Bing Bang, Anytime Fitness, Monk's Corner, Staff, and Shoop, Diddy, Wop, Hummer, Wang Dang. Thank you all very, very much for your support at the moment. I forgot what I was going to say before this. I don't remember. At the moment, the prices are still down. Even Tether's in red, but I assume that'll switch in the next couple of seconds. We dropped below 7,000 for those of you who missed the last day and a half. We dropped below 6,800, and I think we also ended up hitting 6,600, which many people expected the price of Bitcoin to bounce off of. We did, but not sure for how much longer. I'm still expecting prices to go down. I did not include a number of other articles where, remember I said the moment prices go down enough, all the articles would pop up talking about how Bitcoin's getting ready for a big move. I saw about 5 articles this morning alone talking about that Bitcoin was looking like it's going to have a great couple of weeks, or that within the next 3 to 4 weeks, I forgot which analyzer said that, so within the next 3 to 4 weeks, Bitcoin's price would be performing relatively well. Sure, I'm expecting more of a drop-off. I'm expecting whales, to try to push the price as low as humanly possible, or as digitally possible. I'm expecting I would not be surprised if we end up hitting a 6,400 going into the weekend to around a 6,200. As the weekend is just about over. But once again, nobody knows. Everyone can predict as much as they want. No one knows where the price is going to go. A lot of coins have taken very heavy hits. The major news yesterday was that Ethereum was down 7, 8, 9% almost, is nearing the $100 level. And a lot of people were very confused and perplexed as to why Ethereum hadn't moved up at all since its first hard fork had taken place within the last couple of days, and also because we are getting indications that the secondary hard fork on I think the 3rd of January, as it were, is expected to still take place, and therefore people expected a bit more euphoria in the market. The other thing is that XRP has dropped below the 20 cents mark. XRP started off the year, was it 40 cents? 42, 45 cents, somewhere around there. It is now, I think, the first or second worst performing asset this year. I assume mainly because of the amount of XRP that the people from Ripple were putting onto the market. It could just be negative sentiment. It could be because of the things that the Ripple company and or Garlinghouse said would happen this year. They have not simply taken shape. A lot of the market has been battered down. XRP usually gets the end of the heel anyway. So anytime that something negative happens to it, negative news will flow like butter. Butter does not flow. Anything else that was very significant? Litecoin has performed terribly since the halving. EOS has oddly enough maintained its spot within the top 10. There hasn't been any real crazy significant EOS news. Voice was supposed to have been launched this year. It's not being launched. The other initiative that was from the people from, what was it, Blizzard and something else, building on top of EOS, we also have no word of that yet. EOS has remained within the top 10. Nothing else too significant. Tezos has finally fallen down from where it was before. Nothing else too crazy, I think, at the moment. The market is taking a breather. A very heavy breather. It just walked up a very huge mountain and is now exhausted. But we'll see exactly how this ends up taking shape over the next couple of days. Like I said, myself, I'm expecting a further price decline. I buy regardless, up or down, it doesn't really matter. When you look at the fundamentals, the charts, and even more so, I like to comprise a full window of analysts and as far as where they think the cryptocurrency space could go over the next 5 to 10 years, I remain strong and steadfast. A lot of people were asking, I think yesterday, why I was Some people said I sounded really cynical. Some people said I sounded, I forgot what the word was. If there's BS in something that I'm reading, it's very difficult for me to hold back. I'm not one of the YouTubers who can read something and go, wow, that sounds really cool. My gosh, they're doing something horrible. I'm going to promote that. No, if it sounds weird to me. One of my friends told me yesterday as well, he said he listened to my video and he couldn't stop laughing because I kept on, whenever I say something in my video, sometimes I really don't realize that I'm saying it. Sometimes I don't want to say blackout. That sounds a bit too intense. But if something sounds ridiculous as I'm reading it, I'm going to kind of say, hey, that doesn't sound right. And I think I struck a nerve yesterday when I was talking about Cardano. It is what it is. Here's my philosophy. If you are holding a coin that you desperately believe in, that you think is going to do extremely well, I should be able to make 10,000 videos talking down about that coin, and it should have no effect on how you feel about that coin or about that coin's price. I should have no obvious effect on how strong or how awesome or how quick or how fast or how stakey your coin is. I wasn't even talking negatively about Cardano. It was more that is said in the article. I was like, well, I'm pretty sure a lot of that ADA came from IOHK. And then the very next line was like, IOHK provided blah, 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 blah amount of Cardano. And I was like, oh, yep, there we go. It seemed unlikely that within 18 hours, billions of ADA would have been staked alone by random people, and I was correct. So, like I said, I've noticed before. If you've been here since a year, a lot of coins I just don't like. I tried liking them. A lot of these coins are garbage. Not saying that Cardano is garbage. It's that a lot of the coins that people have asked me to look into, to talk about, for some reason, there's a huge amount of spam. I don't know if you guys have seen it. I definitely have, where people are asking me to talk about a coin called Prism, P-R-I-Z-M. And I thought it was a really weird thing that there were like 38 things at one time. It's really weird spam as well. I don't know how they're getting the bots to do this. The bots were like, oh my gosh, I love your video, but have you heard about Prism? And it's like, no, I haven't, because you're all spam bots. A lot of coins that I already talk about this year will probably, and I barely talk about a lot of them as is, will be spoken about next year. I think next year is going to be a more finite year, as it were, unless something really surprises me, unless we get like a huge load of partnerships, unless something really ends up working. But as of right now, didn't mean to sound cynical, didn't mean to sound rude. It's more like a, listen, if you don't like what I have to say about a coin that you're holding because you have put all of your hopes and dreams inside of it, when I say don't buy something that you can't afford to lose, that means don't do it. It's not me saying it. I have noticed people don't care about warnings. Remember my other videos where I was like mandated to say like, this is not investment advice. Please make sure you do your own research. Please make sure after you watch this video to do your own research. Read an hour or so-and-so. When you sit on the toilet, open up your tablet, read about the thing you're trying to invest in, because everyone is so focused on trying to put tiny bits of money or any money at all into an investment vehicle. And everybody wants to still be that person who says, oh my gosh, I made $1 million. You didn't make $1 million, or my coin is so much better. A lot of these coins are garbage. A lot of these coins are going to zero. A lot of these coins are very close to zero. A lot of these coins have no trading volume, and they're not going to have trading volume as the market picks back up. It is just not going to happen. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. I know a lot of you have left. I know a lot of you have clicked away from the video, but this is just how things are. Make sure that where you're putting your money, that it makes sense. Pay attention to the news that we have every single day, because I make a video every single day, and it's always the same coins over and over that are being spoken about. Save the stable coins. Stable coins are going to remain stable coins. Other coins that are not being spoken about, that you have your money in, that have lost 95% of their value, are probably going to go lower. If we have a continued bear market until next May, you're going to lose even more of your money having your money in those coins that don't matter. I can't. We're all adults here. You have to be honest with yourself. It's not about me. Remember all the people used to telling me to like talk about Ethereum Classic and talk about ontology and talk about so and so and so. I should be able to make a video or not make a video about any coin that you are holding, and that coin should still perform exceptionally well without me even breathing into the microphone. I'm not here to hype up your coins or shut down your coins. If I see something ridiculous on any project, I'm going to talk about it. It's just how things are. XRP has performed horribly. I hold XRP. It's a reality. You just got to get used to it. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope that you all have and are having and will continue to have a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Look over your portfolio. Reevaluate what you are holding. Do your own research. Read. Watch documentaries. Go for a walk. Listen to a podcast. Figure out where you have your money and if you should still have your money. Pay attention to what the richest people on this planet are purchasing and where all the money is flowing. And that is probably where you should also be paying attention. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.